Internet, welcome to Game Theory, where today it's time to dust off the pixel rulers and unpack the bad puns because we're doing it old school style. Today is Game Theory Retro Edition, a blast from the past as we cover the absurd science and math behind one of gaming's most beloved franchise, Fire Emblem, epic warfare simulation that features permadeath and unit chippings. In this episode, we are going to talk about the series' recurring skill Astra, a secret technique that enables the user to deliver multiple fast strikes to obliterate their opponents, if not, potentially resulted in overall high damage. Now, what if I tell you that the Astra that most of you are familiar with is not what it seems? There is, let's say, a very interesting origin to the quote-unquote Astra that shows up outside of the Jugdral series. Before we move on, let's take a quick refresher. The Jugdral series, named after the continent of the same name, is a series of 2 Fire Emblem entries, Genealogy of the Holy War and Thracia 776. As you may guess already, these 2 games take place in the continent of Jugdral. The skill Astra originated from the Astra royal family, which is passed down or taught to some members of the family. Now that we covered the basics, let's move on to what we came here for. In Thracia 776, we get to recruit a mermaid named Marita, who is Gale's daughter. Later on in chapter 15, Marita can learn the skill Astra by talking to Shannon, one of the Astra royals. Except it's actually not Shannon, but a man pretending to be Shannon. Enter Shannon, con man who tricked a whole village that he's the Azak Prince Shannon. When Marita saw Shannon during chapter 15, she thought that he's actually Shannon and asked him to teach her Astra, in which this scene plays out. As you can see there, Shannon unintentionally teaches Marita Astra through his utter nonsense. But what if I tell you that is actually not the real Astra? She may think it's actually the Astra, but it's actually a whole different technique. The game back then did not bother to make 2 versions of Astra due to data limitation. This is later evidenced in Fire Emblem Heroes through the skills Rectal Astra and Imperial Astra. These are more powerful versions of Astra that are exclusive to Air, Larcy, and Shannon, signifying that their Astra is the real deal, the technique that only the ASAC royals know how to use. But then on March 18, they introduced the final piece of the evidence. Ascended Marita brought us all the answers for this case. When you check her Meet the Heroes page, it is said that she has mastered the quote-unquote Astra technique. And then we have these two voice clips from her.
Good technique comes from the heart. Shannon taught me that. When technique and heart are one, the path to the true Astra will open.
If you feel that phrase sounded familiar, it is because it's the same wisdom nonsense that Shannon told her, proving that she still thinks that she met the real Shannon, and the new skill that she comes with, Fatal Astra, is the same Astra that she learned from Shannon's nonsense. Now, here comes the interesting part. Fatal Astra is inheritable. The reason behind this is the same way how Shannon taught Marita Astra. Imagine Marita going around telling other people the same advice that Shannon told her. They listen to it, proceed to practice swinging, and assume that they learned the quote-unquote Astra, repeating Marita's experience and in turn doing the same thing as Marita did, telling other people the same. Technique and heart are one. Nonsense, and they all do the same thing over and over again. This chain of events caused the Astra skill to spread and reach out to other continents. And since the skill isn't properly mastered, without Marita present to properly teach it, nor the ASAC royals come to steer the skill back to its original roots, the Astra skill slowly become weaker as time goes. This is clearly shown in feature entries, where the Astra skill becomes progressively weaker between titles, similar to the classic game we know, commonly called the telephone game. The message get progressively different as it passed into one and another. This is basically what happened to the Astra skill. It is spread to a lot of people and taught differently, because no one knows exactly the true form of the technique, and everyone ended up with a different version, each strays far away from the true form. And just like that, Shannon intentionally kickstarted the chain of events that led to the creation of one of our favorite Fire Emblem skills out there. It is only a matter of time until Shannon shows up in Heroes. Shannon and the other ASAC royals are probably looking forward to meeting the man himself. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.